Welcome everyone. In today's Weekend Warrior video, we are going to change the handles on a faucet. Here is the faucet I'm dealing with. It's a laundry tub faucet, and what I don't like about it is these handles are round, and especially if your hands get wet, real slippery, and they're just hard to turn. So I wanted something with a lever on it. Before you start, make sure you plug the drain. You don't want screws and other small pieces going down the drain. Here's a kit that I bought. It is not the brand name for the faucet. It says it's for Delta. I honestly don't know what my faucet is because it doesn't have a brand name readily visible. But these are pretty universal. It says, and most other brands. And this is what I wanted. I wanted something that had more of a lever. I just think it's easier to work for that faucet. So this came with two handles, the screws, and these adapters. You'll see how that works in just a minute. On a difficulty level, this is anywhere between a 2 to a 5, depending on whether or not you run into problems. Tools needed. You might just need a Phillips screwdriver. That might be what you can get away with. The only reason I included pliers is because sometimes you have to remove an old adapter. We'll see what we find when we open this up. And the only reason I included the utility knife is you do have a cap you have to pry off, and either a slotted screwdriver may work, but usually you have to get under there with something really thin. So that's why I included this. But possibly the only tool you really need is a Phillips screwdriver. So let's get started. So the first thing we have to do is pop off that cap in order to access everything. So I'm just going to take my utility knife and very carefully pry that off. And then we find that's held on with a Phillips screwdriver, or a Phillips screw rather. Might not be a bad idea to turn your water off. The handle is probably not going to cause water to leak, but it's always a good precaution. And that's what we find. There's a little adapter there, but we have red and blue for hot and cold, which go hot to the left, cold to the right. So based on what I have here, this adapter will go upside down. It should fit on there. There we go. Just like that. And now this handle has notches in there that are going to match up with the notches on that adapter. So this looks like it's going to be a real easy install. I'm going to take that plug off, put that on top, and I'm going to use the new screw provided. Screw that on, and oh, I love it. Very nice. Now we're going to do the same thing over here. Put the adapter in place, and that should align. If it doesn't, we have a bit of an issue. Yeah, that one doesn't align. I ran into a strange problem with the cold water handle, and maybe I can explain it to you. So this adapter does not fit because the circle here, it's intentionally cut with one flat edge. I don't know how well you can see that on the camera, but it would only fit this way, and it can't fit that way because of the stop. So I had to get a crescent wrench and take this off, and then take that spindle out. And you can see here that flat part and how it can only go in one way. Okay? So this has to be turned 180 degrees. So I'm going to have to take that and turn that 180 degrees. I don't know if it was installed incorrectly or if that's just a quirk with this type of faucet. But once I do that, then this will fit the way it's supposed to. Okay, so I have that turned 180 degrees. And there's notches in there. All right. Put this back. By the way, turn your water off before you do what I just did, or you're going to have a flood in your house. Tighten that back down. All right. Now this should fit. There you go. Now that fits. And there we go. Now that fits. And we're in pretty good shape. Okay, now I'm going to turn the water back on. And we'll see how this goes. There's the hot. And the cold. Nothing is dripping. Well, one little drip was on the bottom, but nothing's dripping. So I'm going to go ahead and put these plugs in. And that job is complete. Like I said, this could be anywhere from a 2 to a 5 as far as difficulty. Even changing that valve, that cartridge around a little bit wasn't difficult, but you have to be able to recognize what the problem was. So I hope you give this a try. It really isn't difficult to do. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe by clicking my face in the corner. And don't forget to ring that bell icon. That way you'll know when I post new videos. Thanks again, I'm Mark, and this is the Average Me Channel.